Boom.
Hi everyone, this is Emmanuel and D4, and this is actually my first YouTube video, and I'm here with my friend
Jibril Job.
Jabril Job.
This is my first YouTube video with Emmanuel and D4.
Awesome, and thank you for coming to my channel. If this is your first time, please encourage me, subscribe to the channel. Write something in the comment. We're talking and reacting to one of Seth Godin's video today. If you do not know who Seth Godin is, he is, some people say he's the father of modern marketing, and I say he is a very good marketer. But I think we are going to dissect what he's going to say in this video. Jabril, do you have anything to add before we begin?
Well, if you want me to introduce myself, I am Jibril Job. I had a BA in business management and minor in sports management. I do a little bit of drop shipping, so e-commerce business, and I worked with Emmanuel for a couple of months to a year, give or take, with his company Upkey. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to
Awesome.
dissecting Godin.
Let's dissect what Seth Godin has to say. I followed Seth for a while, but let's see what he has to say.
MBA and the author of a book called This is Marketing. Marketing used to be a side effect. We had a factory, it was busy. We said to the marketing team, here's some money, go sell average stuff to average people. Not true anymore. Marketing is at the core of what we do. That unless you make coal or oil, marketing is the story you tell, who you're telling it to, why people are going to buy it. It's the center of the universe. And what that means is that you're responsible. How you make it, how you bring it to the world, what the side effects are, who you're talking to, everyone works for you.
So Seth just said something about, I think overall what he's saying is pretty true, what marketing is. And I love the whole new wave of, storytelling, because if I want to connect to someone, I preferably like to connect with them from a story perspective, because that draws me into the mind of the person that is trying to sell versus, me just putting something in your face and say, hey, this is what I have, and, go buy it, right? I think that's what we used to do back in the days in marketing, like in the 80s and 90s. But now you need to understand your audience. And, to Seth's point, I think he's downplaying it a little bit. He mentioned about, that if you're a coal or an oil company, you don't have to have that story. I actually think that it's even more important today to be able to differentiate yourself from any other person with that storytelling. If I am an oil company or I'm a coal company, I would know that, prevailing today, people are very concerned about climate change, about global warming, and the side effect of, the combustion of fuel or coal, is the production of carbon monoxide or carbon dioxide, which destroys the ozone. And what am I doing to mitigate that? Are there any, things that my company is actually working on to ensure that the side effects of the combustion of my product, doesn't have a very adverse effect to the environment, to the world? And people really connect to that. That's why people are talking about green energy and going green. But if I can somewhat find a way to connect those two pieces and tell a story, then I differentiate myself from the mass. So I would say, regardless of what it is, storytelling is important.
Because what we know is that a product well marketed is a product that people want to engage in. And an amazing product that no one knows about or cares about isn't amazing because we don't get to use it. So I coined this term modern marketer to identify somebody who isn't beholden to buying mass media, TV ads, to be in front of average people with their average product. That's old school marketing. That's Mad Men. It's faded away. It's almost gone. The idea that you can buy enough gross rating points to interrupt enough people, to make enough money to do it again, gone. And so what we're seeing on the internet is a whole bunch of companies tried to simulate TV. They tried to come up with viral stuff. They tried to come up with scams and hypes just to get a lot of eyeballs. It doesn't work.
So I hate to pause, guys, but I think the reason why you're here is to not just listen to Seth talk, but also to listen to another perspective, because I think it's different to play devil's advocate, regardless of if I think what Seth is saying is correct. And just to elaborate on Seth's point, I really hate when people think of marketing as, oh, I'm gonna buy an ad space, or I'm going to just buy a TV commercial. There is a lot that goes into it. It's to playing devil's advocate, it's hard to reach a very wide audience from organic marketing, from organic traffic, because it takes a long time to get really good traffic that can sustain your business. And also, when you look at the whole landscape of new competitors getting into a particular niche space, it's hard for you to stay competitive just with organic traffic, except if you are a legacy company like Coke, McDonald's, or whatever, when everybody knows the brand, everybody understands what you provide to them, and they can go search for you. But if you're a small company that you're trying to gain new market share and new market space, it's extremely much more complicated. So you have to get to the new modern era of buying ad space or buying internet space for Instagram or whatever social media you want to use ad for that. However, the caveat here is, how do you want to connect to those people? Do you just want to be one of those other people that they're going to scroll up the feed when they see your ad, or do you want to be one of those people that can engage those people? If you're using video messaging to connect with people, how do you want to make sure that this person connects with the brand, connects with the pain point that you're trying to solve? That's the $1,000,000 question, and that's the hard part. How can you connect people? And guess what? The first 5 seconds of any ad makes me stay or makes me leave. Definitely. So that's what is important.
I definitely want to add to that for sure. With my brand and with my business that I've done, say Facebook marketing, it's literally 5 seconds. You have 5 seconds to get the attention of the viewer or the consumer, or else you would definitely lose them. And I totally agree with what you were saying, Emmanuel. It's definitely about brand awareness and getting there as soon as possible, for sure.
Awesome. So let's see what Seth says.
The fact is that TV was a mass medium and the internet is a micro medium. You can't buy Facebook. You can't even buy Yahoo. You can't buy all the ads. It's lots and lots of tiny slices. So pick your slice and measure when you need to measure. Don't measure when measuring doesn't make any sense. And realize that what we are seeking as an asset is connection, attention, trust, and connection, not spam or interruption. Simon is brilliant as always, and understanding your why is critical, but it's also usually awfully general. My why is because I need to make a living. My why is because the beach is too full.
If you don't know who Simon Sinek is, he's a pretty good leadership coach. He does a lot of work in trying to make entrepreneurs understand their motives, or even individuals trying to go into any space, understand the motives of their why. He has this book. Damn it, I think it's slipping my head right now. I have it in the room right there. It's called something. Please blip if you remember the name of the Simon Sinek's book, something about his why. Please leave it in the comment. But the whole goal is, before you even get into something, you need to define why you're moving into that space. Right now, how many social media platforms do we have? We have Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. You have Snapchat. You have X, Y, and Z, LinkedIn. However, those major social media platforms have different micro channels within them, right? You have Facebook, you have Facebook Story, that's another channel of marketing. You have Facebook Feed, that's another channel of marketing. You have Facebook Insta Stories, you have Facebook Video. So there's a lot of, you have Facebook articles. So there are a lot of micro niche mediums within that media that you need to understand. Why am I going into this platform in the first place? If I want to go into Facebook, if I want to market on social media, you have to understand your audience, where they live. And why are you choosing this particular platform? Is it because they spend more time there? Is it because your product aligns with what these people are going to search within those media? And then you align, okay, within that landscape, what micro channels should I focus on, right? And of course, there's going to be a lot of testing to see what is going to work for you. You don't know the answers when you start, but you need to be able to identify what will be measurable success for you as you're moving into. So let's see if that's where Seth is aligning my thought process, but I think this is where we are going to together.
Why is I want to feel fulfilled by doing this work, which leads to the next question. Well, what am I going to do now? Which is, how do I know if I'm doing a good job? Which is, what is this all for? And so for me, it begins with seeing who we seek to serve and figuring out how to make things better for them. Not for me, but for them. Because if I can make things better for them, then I'll get a chance to do it again. And if I can keep doing it and doing it, making things better, weaving things together, earning trust, turning attention into a promise and that promise into a brand that matters, then regardless of what I do for a living, regardless of what my why is, my practice is a professional one, because I'm not leaving behind victims. Instead, I'm opening the door for people to do better. Everything we do as a marketer has an effect. I'm not even going to say side effect, just an effect. And you have to own the effect. That if you
I'm a big fan of the I used to call it side effect, but he's calling it the effect, right? And it's like when you take a bowl of cereal of cereal, or what's it called, celery sticks, and you blend it. You sometimes you sieve it, and then there's that residue, right? So that's that effect. So the effect is, how is the product much better with my interaction versus without my interaction? If I come to you as a marketer and I say this product can help you, when I'm out of that equation, what is the benefit that you find with that process, with that experience that you've had with my product or with me as the brand? If it's something positive, then what happens? You get associated with positive thoughts and positive emotions. And I don't want to go into brand arousals and all those, little things. We'll probably get into that in another video. But if I make you feel good, you would want to go back so you can have more positive feelings. If I can solve your problem, regardless of how I get to you, you're going to come back to me for more solutions, because I make you feel better. I make you feel like you're someone that can get away and not think about a problem because someone's already getting that solution, has that solution for you. I think that's what he's trying to say here.
It's about having that brand loyalty for sure.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Right.
Building brand loyalty.
Yeah, you definitely need people to come back to you and buy your stuff, but you're giving them back, what they really want, which is premium quality and great hospitality as well. It's about being there for the people, your customers, as much as they're there for you. So I definitely understand what he's trying to say, and brand loyalty is definitely important.
Yeah, and Maya Angelou said this pretty nicely to sum it up: is people don't remember what you tell them, but they remember how you make them feel. And it doesn't matter what media or how you interact with them, but it's how do they feel after that experience. So
you sell a product that's going to cause people to get lung cancer, that's on you. You didn't have to sell it. They didn't have to buy it either. But if marketing works, you're on the hook, because marketing works and you did the marketing. So what we get the chance to do is make stuff we're proud of and do it in a way that causes the effects to be things that we are proud of. So yes, you could build a social network that pits people against each other and gets them at each other's throats. That's on you. That each one of us has all these levers available to us. Little known fact that the person who invented the Freon gas that put a hole in the ozone layer also invented leaded gasoline. Same guy. Not a good run for him. It was on him, those two inventions. What are we going to invent? Can we invent things that will make things better? Because that's how we change the world for the better. Make things better by making better things. Hi, it's Seth.
yeah, I think that's the end of the video. So yeah, I think overall, his whole take on how people feel, it's super important, because marketing is not just the study of how to get to a consumer or how to get a sale for a product or service, how to create a brand perception, a brand loyalty around a product or service. But it's more so, it's about connecting the product, the brand, to the feeling of value from the consumer perspective. And if I, as a marketer, if I can make sure that my product is something that, number one, as I said, I'm proud of. Number two, I know that has a solution. Then what happens is I start building a connection, right? I start building a trust from the product to the consumer, for the product to consumer relationship cycle. And if you do that enough, and that person keeps getting that feeling, as Jabril said, You build brand loyalty because they want to go back. How many times do you go back to Walmart or to a grocery store and get the same thing, right? Why do you think you get the same thing all over and over? It's because you know what feeling you're going to get from consuming that product. And you keep doing it because you don't want to get disappointed because it's already good for you. And until that product disappoints you a number of times before you think about changing, or if you have people in your network that you trust that recommend something different.
Exactly.
And even if they do recommend something different, you're not just going to switch your mode and say, hey, I'm abandoning what I trust and what I know. You're probably going to consume those two together, but I'll bet I'll bet you're going to consume what you know more than what other people tell you, if what you know still gives you that same feeling.
Yeah, I totally agree. It's about comparing and contrasting, but I feel like brand loyalty goes a long way.
It does.
Very long way.
Thank you so much, guys, for watching this video. This is my first video, so support your boy Emmanuel and D4 Marketing Simple. If you want to connect with me, if you have any questions to ask, I do mentor a lot of students and other entrepreneurs. So if you have any question, you can let me know. I'm here to answer your question, and subscribe to my channel, and see you next time. Thank you, guys, and stay safe.